stories to share tonight. Underway here in the opening quarter as Booker will secure the basketball for the Longhorns and Rory Harmon. So Texas with wins over Incarnate Word and Richmond so far tonight. Against the Ragin' Cajuns, early effort off the mark for Brea Cunningham. We give you the starting five for the Ragin' Cajuns, none of whom were in Lafayette, Louisiana a year ago. All newcomers here to the members of the Sun Belt.
But the starting five has remained the same as we see Daniel hit a acrobatic shot.
Imani Daniel, one of the three freshmen who are among the top 10 recruits coming out of Louisiana. Of course, for Texas, some young ladies who are already household names around these parts. That includes Madison Booker, who last year SEC Player of the Year. Before that, her freshman year, Big 12 Player of the Year. Which conference will she be Player of the Year this year? Have to like her chances of claiming some hardware by the end of the season, perhaps even on the national landscape.
Absolutely. You know, Booker is one. What I like about her is she isn't deferring this year to anyone. She is happy to step into that leadership role. Look at what she has accomplished over her career.
Trying to become a three-time Cheryl Miller Small Forward of the Year recipient. Able to make one of two. Texas with the turnover. Rory Harmon, prompt baseline, goes up. She'll go to the free throw line.
Opponents. Texas didn't shoot free throws well in their last game on Friday. They were 11 for 24 at the free throw line. Got there quite a bit. Certainly was a point of emphasis this week in practice, this weekend in practice.
The freshman goes 1 for 2. Yeah, we sat down with Madison Booker after her win over Richmond, and that was the first thing that caught her eye when looking at the box score, where Texas had plenty of room to improve. Pushing the tempo, Harmon finds Booker, banks one home.
Oh, no call on the floor. The whistle blew, the official blew their whistle, I think, just to allow the Louisiana player to get up off the floor. It's physical out there already here in the first couple of minutes.
So again, Louisiana, this is a completely new roster. Lots of veterans who have transferred into the program, along with three top freshmen out of the state of Louisiana. Long ball over the top. Cunningham gets back to effect the shot without committing the foul. Harmon up ahead to Crump, 1v2. Aaliyah, a little nifty spin, just can't find the angle as it's hauled in by the Spaniard, Marina Artero. From the elbow, good, as the Ragin' Cajuns playing with confidence. Second bucket from Imani Daniel.
Yeah, Imani Daniel, we saw her hit that first basket at the beginning of the game. She is one of those freshmen, as you mentioned, a lot of confidence, very skilled.
Her third straight start through 3 games for Louisiana. Ragin' Cajuns still looking for their first win of the young campaign. Cunningham slams on the brakes, goes straight up for the bucket. Spent the last 2 years at Arizona. Long ball over the top, and if you let it go out of bounds, it's going to come all the way back. Well, Gary Broadhead, well known among the coaching ranks throughout the region, especially in Lafayette, where he's been at the helm now for 14 years. He himself a former Ragin' Cajun when he was a pole vaulter on campus, grew up just a couple blocks away from campus. That is the winningest head coach in Ragin' Cajun history for women's basketball. Harmon, a little baseline stroke from Rory. Last year, the Ragin' Cajuns finished 9-9, 7th in the conference. Would fall in the conference tournament by 2 points to Marshall. This year, picked 11th out of the 14 teams with all the turnover. And somebody's enjoying her time here in Austin, Texas, Imani Daniel.
And Daniel matched up with Cunningham. Daniel, get this, is playing the 5 position, the post position at 5 feet 9 inches tall against 6'4" Cunningham for Texas.
Yeah, if anything, that's probably where they liked their matchup the least. Not anything to do with Imani, but just simply that is the size mismatch favoring Texas, and yet she's found a nice mid-range stroke so far on a few occasions.
Well, and she's done a nice job of bringing Cunningham out of the lane, I think, making her defend a little bit on the perimeter.
Imani has all 6 of Louisiana points so far. while 4 of the 5 starters for Texas have already registered in the scoring column. Crump into the paint, gets tripped up. Foul, will keep it here.
I like the aggressiveness of Crump. She didn't have a good first quarter in that game on Friday night. Sat a little bit on the bench in that first half, but she's come out here, hasn't had her head down, has played with confidence and aggressiveness.
And Aaliyah Crump, the freshman out of Minnesota for Minnetonka. Went to Montverde Academy her final year.
Price coming into the game for Louisiana, number 2.
There's plan A.
Yep.
Booker, book it. Texas has made their last 3 shots from the floor.
A good job again by Louisiana to get the ball over the top of this Texas defense who fronts and face guards. They've made some mistakes, but at least that's a great way to have the defense back off a bit.
That's a kicked ball from Artero, who obviously comes from a soccer-loving country in Spain, but not going to get away with it here.
Texas doing such a terrific job on their out-of-bounds execution. Just watch this right here. Good screens, nice placement, good patience by Rory. Best passer is always the one that takes the ball out of bounds, and Rory Harmon is kind of the staple right there when it comes to out-of-bounds plays on the baseline.
I think Artero even spent part of her youth as part of FC Barcelona. Of course, it's not just a soccer club. It does have multiple sports, including basketball. Harmon, one of the great two-way players around the nation, surrounded by so much talent these days. It's hard to imagine a couple years ago, I was talking about people overlooking Rory Harmon. And another whistle on Louisiana.
The interesting thing about Rory Harmon this season is she's surrounded by so many scorers. So you see Crump right now, she's gone to the basket several times. She is a threat all over the floor. So Rory Harmon knows that she can find either Crump or Lee on the perimeter, or can really just let them go to work one-on-one.
Can you list all the Texas players in the program's history to score 1,200 points and have 700 assists?
I can, yes.
And if you
on
can
one
come,
finger,
if you
probably.
can come up with the name Rory Harmon, good work. Take the rest of the evening off.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Louisiana coming into the house of the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns, playing with some confidence here early on. All 6 of their points again, courtesy of Amani Daniel. Tried to find success down low, took some steps out of play, a turnover.
That's a really pretty pass, though, on the interior. You see Price with her ball handling ability. Her eyes are always up, finds Ba down low, and she's not able to handle that pass.
Again, Crump ranked as high as the 5th best recruit coming out of high school this year. Lee, part of this talented sophomore class for the Longhorns. Harmon off the screen, and an illegal screen is what freed up Rory.
Oh, good defense, really, I think, by the Raging Cajuns. They're doing a nice job of locking and trailing on down screens on the shooter, and just really being hard to pin down when somebody goes to screen. Nice job. Juicy, you missed that. You had your head down right there, but Price knocked the ball off the backside of a Texas player to get it inbounds.
Harmon strips it loose. It was 2-on-2. Booker will take it the entire way off the glass and in. 7 points for Madison Booker. Another turnover. This will be a throw into the backcourt and given right back over to Louisiana. A moment ago, Booker with points 6 and 7 on the night.
Well, Booker had 6 steals coming out of that game. The last game comes into this game very active defensively. Again, not deferring to anybody. Really see her upping the intensity for this Texas team.
Texas has made their last 4 shots, but just turned the ball over. Back over to Louisiana. Another international player on the floor for the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, and a mismatch right now.
Bianca Silva coming off the bench, a point guard out of Brazil. Traveled as a kid and started her collegiate days in Wyoming at Northwest College. Spent a couple years in high school in Utah. She'll pull the trigger on the inbounds play here.
It's always so interesting to see the path many of these players take.
Mija Price in the ball game off the bench. Again, this is your leading scorer through their first 2 games this year. Arguably one of the best players out of high school in Louisiana. in this recruiting class.
And guarded by one of the best defenders on this Texas team in Lee.
Got her own miss, puts it back, won't go, and that's not fair. Kyla Oldacre at 6'6", is able to grab it. Oldacre off the bench now. Crump from the corner. Oldacre with the rebound, offensive putback, good.
I'll tell you what, if Oldacre is in the game right now, somebody needs to get a body on her early. She is so difficult to keep off the boards, even when you can match her size, let alone being undersized like Louisiana is.
In less than 30 seconds, Oldacre with her first defensive and offensive rebounds off the bench tonight. The former McDonald's All-American. And Texas with a double-digit lead, now on an 8-0 run. Who touched it last? Longhorns welcoming the Ragin' Cajuns to Austin, Texas, though their best win wasn't even on this continent. It was over in Paris against Duke. Texas will see those Blue Devils a little bit later on here, one of their upcoming top 25 matchups. And players get tangled up. It'll be a foul on Madison Booker.
Oh, nice job of getting over this screen right there by Silva. It's just so important to keep your feet moving. Wait, that's a tough matchup for her with Rory Harmon, trying to guard that speed and that control.
Here is the Brazilian, Bianca Silva. Defended by Crump.
This is where Texas can switch with Booker out there at the 4 position. Almost every position can switch 1 through 4.
Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Texas, though, not making it very easy to gain any kind of real estate. Right now, Jordan Lee pestering the ball handler. Shot clock down to 3, settling for the baseline shot, won't go, and it's Rory Harmon coming up with the rebound, leading the charge. 2 on 3, Harmon stops, pops off the back iron, gets her own miss, off balance, was hoping for a whistle. No such luck, though. This is out of bounds off the Ragin' Cajuns.
Yeah, it is incredibly physical out there. I'm just watching as the bodies are bumping. Every time somebody's going to the basket, there's just a little bit of bump that's knocking players off their line. I'm sort of surprised more fouls have not been called at both ends. Let's see if Texas can execute once again on an out-of-bounds play.
Yeah, good on Louisiana, bringing the physicality as long as it's allowed. Booker, power dribble, lost the ball, and before she could throw it off of Booker, Amija Price was already on the baseline.
How about the awareness of Price out there? Just kind of unfazed, playing the number 4 team in the country and able to get her hands on the ball of Booker's.
She's already grown so much in her limited time on campus in Lafayette. In 20 points, 9 rebounds, 6 steals against Delta State in the last game. Been their leading scorer off the bench in both contests.
You know, there are times that fouls are fouls, and like, here's me as somebody that defended the post. That didn't need to be called. A lot of these bumps going to the basket when somebody's full speed in the air and they're getting just hit, bumped a little bit and knocked off the line, I would be calling those fouls and not that one. You're not going to phase Oldacre if you're bumping her at.
Kyla's first free throw off the mark. Well, here's this week's SEC Network featured women's basketball games. Reagan Beers and the 6th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners host Kansas City at the Lloyd Noble Center Wednesday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. And Thursday it's Talasia Cooper along with the 12th-ranked Lady Vols hosting Belmont 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Both available on the all-new ESPN app. Here on SEC Network Plus, it's Texas converting turnovers into offense.
Yeah, 8 turnovers already for the Ragin' Cajuns, and big problem right now. They need to adjust, clean those things up.
Texas has more points off Louisiana turnovers than Louisiana has points. The moment Louisiana touches that ball, it's a turnover.
You know, that reminded me of something that Cami Etheridge would do out there. Wait for the opponent to get close enough so they could tie up and get a jump ball. Again, Texas with that full court defense in your face, and Rory Harmon deny. That's just a poor pass. You don't want to throw the pass right there under the basket. You'd rather throw it long, away from the basket.
You don't get an assist for that, do you?
No. And again, I'd try throwing the ball off the backside again with those Texas players. Pull out the tricks.
Back into Booker. They deny her a chance to go straight up off the backboard. 12-0 run for Texas. Trump. Little mid-range, rattles it through.
Yeah, just a little dribble drive right there. Patient offensively right there, and a good job by Crump.
Louisiana Remember, held a lead early in this contest. The first 6 points, still the only 6 points are from Daniel. Going to line will be fellow starter Michaela Manley, former Screaming Eagle out of Southern Miss. Pride of Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Born in Arlington, Texas. A couple of Texas players on this Louisiana team. Texas-born players. She's one of the 2 players I think Coach Broadhead has talked about really stepping up this year and showing leadership to this younger group. So Jackson is one, Manley is the other one.
Now 5 of 7 early in the season from the free throw line, but she's been averaging 14 points through those first 2 games at home against Bowling Green and Delta State. Playing her college basketball in the same state where her grandfather played when he was at Grambling. So the drought over for Louisiana. It had been about 4.5 minutes. Still looking for their first field goal in that span. Oldacre having her way.
Yeah, one-on-one like that against Ba. Oldacre is really able to go to work. For a big girl, she has terrific footwork. Oldacre 6'6" and able to move like that.
Battled an ankle injury during the off-season, limiting her in that international competition Texas competed in up in Canada.
Well, and also in preseason conditioning, I think 6 weeks out with that ankle injury.
Presumably that was a travel, it was. As rolling over with the basketball was Bianca Silva, and if you're gonna keep track of turnovers for Louisiana, you're gonna have to take your shoes off.
10 turnovers already. You know, I'm always one to talk about the turnovers. They're such a big part of the game. You have to control the ball. Texas oftentimes just gets up many more shots than their opponents simply because they cause so many turnovers.
Just a hair under 70% from the floor. Texas. Oldacre another rebound here. They double down on her, which means somebody's open. Crump back into Kyla where it all began. Off the bench with 7 points, Kyla Oldacre. .90 seconds to go here in this opening frame. 6th all-time meeting between these 2 programs, the first back in 1973. Allegedly, that one went the way of Louisiana. Since then, it's been all burnt orange and white.
Just good decision making by Texas right here. Crump has been very active, and this is something that Texas works on a lot when they get the ball to the middle of the floor, looking for their big down low.
I trust the Louisiana records. Texas does not have a record of that loss. We'll have to go back into the archives on the ESPN app. See who broadcasted that game. Rory Harmon will get a breather and an ovation along with Madison Booker. What a duo those 2 are. When Rory and Booker are in the lineup, Texas all-time 48 wins, 4 losses. One more free throw here for Kyla. And Oldacre, her first 2 years at Miami, wrapping up her college career here in Austin.
And if you remember, when she came out of college in 2022, she was one of the top 5 posts in the nation. Check this out for names that were with her. Lauren Betts, who plays at UCLA. Ice Brady, who was at UConn. Reagan Beers, who was at Oregon and is now at Oklahoma. And then Ashley Watkins as well, who played at South Carolina. And Kyla Oldacre.
Well, hopefully somebody up in Norman, Oklahoma is reading about Kyla Oldacre in their promos on their SEC Network Plus broadcasts.
I do miss that rivalry you see twice a year. Used to see twice a year in the Big 12, sometimes more.
This is Stephanie Mosley off the bench. Texas kid out of Mansfield, went to Timberview High School by way of most recently Norfolk State out of the MEAC. Had great success at the MEAC, regular season and tournament champion, so that meant a trip to the NCAA tournament. As Oldacre has that ball fall to her. 5th rebound already for Kyla off the bench to go with 8 points, pardon me. And for the first time tonight, we're seeing Bree Preston. And they're going to have that as an offensive foul on the screen from Crump. A collision just inside the 3-point arc.
Something new that Texas has been doing is this screen on the ball between guards. Little wrinkle in their offense, and 2 times now they've been called for an offensive foul because of an illegal screen.
Saw Vic Schaefer, who has guided his teams now to the Elite Eight 7 of his last 8 years as a head coach. Mississippi State, and now here with the Longhorns. Oh, good fake, strong take, everything but the bucket.
Great hustle, everybody getting on the floor.
How about Kyla Oldacre getting down up to that ball?
I'll tell you what, Kyla Oldacre is not afraid to bang down low, come out and hedge on screens up high, get on the floor, and never change the look on her face.
Of course, last year, a hard-to-stop combo with Taylor Jones. And it's Kyla back at the line. She's 2 for 4, Texas 6 of 10 from the charity stripe so far. It's a 20-1 run now for Texas over the last 7 minutes. Kyla knocks them both down. A 70% free throw shooter a year ago. Texas not making it easy. Lee almost forced a turnover. And in the end, a foul, presumably on Taya Sidbury. Taya checks into the ball game, just 3 points away from 1,000 points in her career. And stops at Utah and Boston College. For making her way here.
The all-time leading scorer in girls basketball in Utah history, still today.
Out of Salt Lake City, was the Gatorade Player of the Year coming out of high school. Shot clock off for the rest of the opening quarter. As Ariana Patterson, one of the 3 talented freshmen for this completely new look Louisiana Raging Cajun roster, knocks them both down. Nice work. Texas can hold for the final shot. Still 5 to shoot. Who touched it last? It'll be the Longhorns with an inbounds play.
That's a great double team right there by Louisiana. I'd like to see them do a little bit more of that, but now they're going to have to defend again on an out-of-bounds play on the baseline. Texas, I'd like to see their statistics. I should probably go back and look at their statistics on how effective they are on the out-of-bounds plays on the baseline, how many times they score.
Oldacre is going to go to the line with 0.9 remaining. Again, coming off the bench tonight, already has 10 points, 6 rebounds. She'll look to add to her resume here.
Well, it's usually the point guard that has great awareness about how much time is left on the clock. And in this case, Oldacre just had the presence of mind to get the ball up, knowing the clock was running down.
Gary Broadhead saw his Raging Cajuns lead for 23 seconds near the start of this contest. They have not made a field goal in the past 7.5 minutes. Found a few free throws along the way. But that'll do it for the first 10 minutes. Texas with a 19-point lead. As quarter number 1. We've seen 10 of the 11 available Raging Cajuns out on the floor tonight.
Well, Louisiana needs to be able to get the ball up. They need to get more shots up, turn the ball over a little bit less. I would bring the 5s out, just like that. Boz taking the shot there, but force the 5s to defend a little bit more on the perimeter, maybe switch out on somebody. Again, with his lineup out there, Texas can switch 1 through 4 with pretty much any lineup.
Saw Lily Baugh, the former Tulane player, with an open 3. That was her first attempt of the year. Came up short. See Justice Carlton on the floor for the first time. Looking for Oldacre. She knows where to go. Kyla, just a little shot put, fires it up there to reset the shot clock. Sidbury. What a way to reach 1,000 in her career if that had gone in. Sidbury gets back on defense, gets tangled up. She'll be whistled for the foul.
Well, Sidbury all over the place. She has certainly got a motor. That's a young lady that now with 2 fouls, but she has just, her effort on the floor when she is out there is 100%. So you're trying to take the charge here, and just a really nice job. Again, who's out there making a play? New faces.
Taya last year with Boston College averaged 12 points, 7 rebounds. Can knock down a three-pointer. Constantly working on her defensive performance as well. Trying to take that charge. Instead, trips to the free throw line here for Stephanie Mosley, who was 2 for 3 to start the season from the charity stripe. She's had previous stops at UT Arlington as well as Northwest Florida State. More recently, Norfolk State, we mentioned in the MEAC, with great success before coming over to Louisiana this year. Preston, no-look pass back to Booker in the floor. Returns the favor to Bree, but empty-handed. A minute gone here in the second quarter, as our score remains right where it was at the end of the first 10.
You mentioned fouls a moment ago with Bob, but the biggest person missing out there maybe is Daniel, who has 2 fouls and has been sitting on the bench for a while for Louisiana. She's such an impact player for them. When she's on the floor, can do so many things, and just not able to stay because of her foul trouble.
Jordan Lee auditioning to be Jared Elliott's next middle blocker.
She probably could. That young lady is so talented and so athletic.
Maybe a little undersized at 6 feet.
That wouldn't bother her.
Justice Carlton affecting that shot. Here comes Texas. Preston. They bit on a subtle dummy. She kept it herself. Add 2 more to the box score.
She is just electric out there on the floor and so quick, even against these quick Louisiana players. She is able to get her head and shoulders by people.
Former state champion in Georgia, the sophomore Bree Preston. And really performed well in the NCAA tournament in the games that mattered the most. Preston trying to find Carlton with a little razzle-dazzle. Instead, 3-on-2 here for Louisiana. Mosley will give it up to Sierra Jones at her 5th collegiate stop.
In her 6th year of college as well. Not a lot of those players still out there from the 2019 and 2020 class.
Yeah, our guy, Jake Williamson, with some help from ESPN research staff, came up with a few more names than we thought still from 2019-2020. 2019
class, there's still 11 players with Division I playing eligibility this season, and 150 players from the 2020 class.
3 players sucked in on Preston there, leaving an open Cunningham, who can't capitalize, but it stays with Texas, 20 to shoot. Yeah, there were a couple years we just gave up on identifying what year somebody was, academically or eligibility-wise. It's getting a little simpler now. Louisiana's going to make 3 changes.
Now it's just hard to track how many times people have transferred. And Daniel back in the game now. Is she out there?
Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Longhorns. Texas has cooled off from 66% to 52%. And missing the bunny there, Carlton. Cunningham will go to the free throw line. And Imani Daniel had the first 6 points tonight for Louisiana. Briefly had them out ahead of Texas for a significant cold stretch. Asked Gary Broadhead about his freshman, and consistent was the word for her, night in, night out.
Considering she only played 3 minutes, that's pretty good production. So getting her back into the game, even with those 2 fouls, I think is so important, just to allow Louisiana, I think, to keep their confidence up and hopefully not turn the ball over as much. Have somebody that can compete in the paint.
One of the tougher young players he's had in his time.
She's special. Like, you watch her practice, you watch her out there on the floor, and at 5'9", she came up to me earlier. I'm like, let me see the size of your hands, and I'm 6'2", and her hands are as big as mine.
And all 3 freshmen in this Louisiana first-year class out of Louisiana, keeping them local.
A good job right there to get the ball in. Force Texas to spread out a little bit more, give yourself a little more room.
Jackson
nice.
Able to find Daniel. Ball ultimately finds its way into the arms of Cunningham. Preston lobs down low and a little off balance. Carlton tried to tap it out to Rory.
Well, if you're Justice right there, Justice Carlton, you need to just catch that basketball. And she did get bumped a little bit on the interior, but you want to secure the ball. Oh.
Sixth turnover for Texas, almost a 13th turnover for Louisiana.
Louisiana came down and executed on the last time down, got a good shot. That's the goal right now. Just keep improving, trying to be consistent.
And Cunningham, who had it well defended in the end, does commit the foul. So free throws coming up. And Louisiana so far 3 of 6 from the free throw line for 3 of their 9 points. Their last 3 points. Jackson looking for her first points here in Austin. And Louisiana in double digits. Well, here's tomorrow's SEC Network men's basketball doubleheader. 10th ranked Florida hosts rival Florida State at 7 Eastern at the O'Connell Center. Then Ole Miss hosts Penny Hardaway in his alma mater, Memphis, at the Pavilion in Oxford. Both games also available on the all-new ESPN app. Be a great night for college hoops. Every night for Andrea Lloyd is a great night for college hoops.
Can I admit something? I don't have time to watch men's basketball half the time. I mean, I'm so busy watching women's basketball and all the games on.
There's got to be a new quad box on the ESPN app that makes time for you. They'll put 3 women's games up there and just a little diversity sprinkling a men's game as well. One of the great features on the new ESPN app. Again, a public service for those of you watching Texas this year. The reason why you have access to the SEC Network Plus is because your TV provider does have SEC Network. It's unrelated to ESPN Plus. Texas right now up by 22 in the midst of the second quarter. Slow start to this frame for both teams. Texas outscoring Louisiana 5-2. And just trying to beat a 5-second count. Either way, it's a turnover. Preston. 13th turnover by the visitors. Harmon in the paint. Can't finish with the left. Falls to Rory for the rebound. Able to go up to the weak side and bank it in. Determination paying off from Rory Harmon. And officially more points off turnovers committed by Louisiana. Cunningham with the rejection. Shot clock down to 5 for Mosley. Baseline, and nice work beating the clock. Amani Daniels got 8 points now.
Yeah, that's the advantage of Daniels at 5'9", able to just take it to the rim like that on a bigger player. Quickness, ability to finish. Look at her leaning on the big down low on Cunningham, trying to keep her out of the lane.
She's 4 of 6 from the floor. As Rory Harmon
turn into each other, keep talking to each other, stay on the same page. Don't get frustrated at one play and let it get you down for multiple plays later.
Third foul on Brea Cunningham, who will step off the floor. And the first free throw goes down for Daniel. Next one will give her 10 points against 4th-ranked Texas.
Boy, we mentioned how talented the freshmen were for Louisiana. Daniel, one of them, and then we also saw Price. We can see her athletic ability. What I missed.
Steph Curry throws up the free throw, starts sprinting towards half court before it drops in.
She's confident, I'm telling you.
Haven't seen it from the free throw line before. Oh, great skip pass down low. Preston gets it to go, and she will have a chance to go to the line. Rory Harmon helping out the officials, indicating the blocking foul.
There's a great backdoor here right now, and I tell you what, it'll be interesting to see. You see Daniel coming in to take the charge, and again, that circle right there doesn't matter on taking a charge anymore. It's under the cylinder, under the basket, but she just didn't get set before the player went off the ground. So,
yeah, this is not the restricted arc you are looking for.
And that's 3 fouls on Daniel, so she will take a seat. Right idea. And I'll tell you what, Gary Broadhead is a defensive-minded coach, and he wants his players to take charges. They just haven't figured out how to defend well enough to have that last stand in defense, which is basically taking the charge and getting the rebound.
Bree Preston becomes the 5th Longhorn to attempt a free throw today, and she gets the and one for the 3-point play. Jackson across the timeline, pestered by Harmon.
Well, Jackson's a pretty good shooter and a pretty good scorer. I'd like to see her get going.
There's a great lob into Maya Price, who just could not handle it. Midway through the second quarter now, Texas has grown its lead. And we expect before the Christmas holiday, Rory Harmon will be your all-time program leader in assists for Texas.
Great hustle.
Possession arrow is going to send this one over the Longhorns. We'll step aside here at Moody Center, Texas.
For the Mr. Pickle video, but we weren't able to come up with that.
Back to basketball. As Preston, still 15 to shoot. Carlton off the baseline. Texas, again, shot 66% in the opening quarter when they outscored Louisiana 28-9. And now a cooler start for both teams here. Preston trying to win this ball back, gets it to Rory. Harmon draws the contact, welcomes it, goes up strong.
I don't think she necessarily draws the contact. I think she creates the contact. Rory Harmon likes it. She's very powerful on the finish on the interior, especially when she's guarded by somebody the same size.
Tomato, cucumber, pickle.
Ooh, Rory fell hard.
And again, that is Rory without a knee brace these days. Now a full year removed from coming back from that knee surgery.
Here's that steal, and just watch her initiate the contact right there. You can see it. Rory lowers her shoulder a little bit.
Again, Rory's comfortable without the knee brace on. That's a good mental obstacle to clear. It's her coach who's probably more nervous not seeing that knee brace on her that she wore last year.
Oh, mentioned also out there Justice Carlton, who wore a knee brace as well last season.
Here is Justice into Kyla. And Oldacre looking to continue to make an impact. And she'll go back to the free throw line where she's 4 of 8 today for 4 of her 10 points for the team high. Texas looking to add to a 25-point lead here with 3.5 still to go. I don't know how our cameraman balances up there for so long.
It is a great angle, though, when you need it. I mean, I love the angles above the basket, around the basket. You can really see the physicality of the game. Footwork of those players that are really good about, similar to Oldacre, who can go to work on the interior.
Well, every Saturday, Marty and McGee and SEC Nation get you ready for football with SEC game previews and the latest news from around the conference. This week, they'll be in Athens at University of Georgia starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. here local time. Both shows are on the SEC Network and the all-new ESPN app. And, of course, Lincoln Rose, Andrea Lloyd, and we are both very demanding with the angles that are used on us on these broadcasts. One more free throw here for Oldacre. Part of a 6-0 run for Texas as they have been able to continue to build on this lead in front of the home crowd here at Moody Center, where Texas has one of the nation's longest home winning streaks. Price, the talented freshman, again off the bench for a 3rd straight game here in her collegiate career. One of her 2 international teammates, Bianca Silva out of Brazil, with the dribble.
Just struggling to get the ball even down below the free throw line with that Texas defense. And if you're going to play one-on-one and try to get by Texas defenders, that is just not going to work. You have to have more motion.
18th turnover by Louisiana, the shot clock violation.
And again, just really good one-on-one defense. You see kind of a mismatch here with size. Is Sidbury on the perimeter at 6'1".
Preston foregoing the 3. And a nice job by Louisiana, forcing the 8th Longhorn turnover. Price, the good rhythm, everything but the shot. Two Longhorns collide. This will stay with Louisiana as Booker and Preston bump into each other.
I don't mind that shot by Price. It might have been a little early in the shot clock, but she certainly has the range to take it. Had a little bit of room over the top of Oldacre. Again, as long as you're not turning the ball over on offense and you're able to get a shot off, I think that's a win for Louisiana today.
Oldacre denying the ball to Lily Baugh. Again, Baugh playing through 3 fouls. She and 2 of her teammates with 3 fouls, including their leading scorer, Daniel, with 10 points tonight. Out there on the floor right now. Oldacre with the steal. Sets the screen for Booker. Back inside. They forgot about Kyla.
I mean, come on, 6'6", defending at one end and then coming back down and getting into the paint. Love the fact that you're feeding and watering your posts, giving them the ball, rewarding them for good work.
Literally a big part of that record-breaking 35-win season in this NCAA era for Texas. A little over 2 minutes to go until halftime here in Austin. Shot fired up, offensive rebound by Baugh. And the shots just aren't falling. 3.5-minute scoring drought for Louisiana. Carlton with the left.
Sidbury
Pardon
right
me,
there.
Sidbury.
Yeah.
9:99. And an offensive foul will be another turnover here on Louisiana. They're going to look at it. I was cheating. I heard Daniel Drake come over and explain it, so I didn't want to give myself too much credit by saying speed.
You knew he said speed. And again, this kind of contact happens a lot if you're under control, and this move happens slower, as if it was in slow motion. That's one thing. It was the speed of the elbow and the clearing of the basketball.
So the shots and the possession. Last 3.5 minutes, a 12-0 run for Texas.
And we're on 20 as turnovers for Louisiana. That is a tough number when you're playing a team like Texas.
We are out of digits. Oldacre back to Booker, sets the screen for Maddie. Gives it back into Kyla. A little 2 Longhorn game.
That's a really nice play in a small amount of space right there in the lane. Oldacre has great hands on the interior.
We don't have time to explain what a phone booth was. A little over a minute to go here in the opening half.
Phone book? Do we have time for that?
And Louisiana's had more turnovers last 4 minutes than shots attempted.
Ball in the middle of the floor, really tough to defend right here. You see Booker, she's a threat right there, and just nobody with size on the interior that can really slow down Oldacre. Normally the lane is flooded right there, and Booker just able to thread the needle.
Silva with 10 to shoot. Just can't connect with Price along the baseline.
Yeah, very frustrating, I think, for everybody on the bench, on the floor right now for Louisiana.
Texas has 23 points off 21 turnovers from Louisiana. A 4.5-minute cold spell for the Raging Cajuns, plagued by those miscues. And Gary Broadhead knew it wasn't going to be easy when he saw his old friend Vic Schaefer tonight. First cross paths when Vic Schaefer was on Gary Blair's Aggie squad in College Station. Got some good tips from a generous Vic Schaefer that day. That have helped him throughout his career.
Well, the ultimate with Vic Schaefer and Gary Blair. Gary Blair, the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M, and Vic Schaefer, just a master.
Broadhead similarly with a philosophy of an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator.
Yep. Tamika Johnson, the offensive coordinator for Louisiana, her head in her hands right now. Not going as she would like, but understandable. And Gary Broadhead, the defensive coordinator. And
you're going to have some growing pains when your entire roster is new. 9 transfers, 3 freshmen. Booker there to help out. 22nd turnover. Fires one up ahead. Crump down low to the feet. And it's Texas who will cough it up. 4 seconds remaining. Not sure about the awareness of the clock here for Price. Looks up too late. With 3 fouls for Texas. 3 Raging Cajuns with some foul concerns. Drawing 3 whistles apiece in the opening half. And taking it all the way to the baseline. That's a nice confident start out of the left hand. And Michaela Manley again, the pride of Lake Charles, Louisiana.
A little bit of full court press here. So a little bit of zone at the quarter court. And a full court 1-2-2 press coming out for Louisiana.
Crump.
Got a rebound.
Good look baseline. The rebound goes to the sophomore Lee.
Yeah, 3-2, 1-2-2 zone right now. This can work. You just have to rebound out of it.
Kyla Oldacre able to catch that ball with one hand. She had to catch it with one hand. The other one was being tied up.
You do what you got to do right now, right? That's 4 fouls, though, right on Daniel.
At some point, they're just going to have to trust her with 4 fouls, but that's not going to come at this moment. Looks like she's going to be subbed out.
Well, you see the frustration on her face, and you know, probably Gary Broadhead hoping that the zone would maybe cover her a little bit from that foul that she just committed.
The Spaniard Artero comes on. They love her high basketball IQ and being a vocal leader on the floor. Jordan Lee, the sophomore, helping to stretch things out this year from beyond the arc. A quick release off the mark. Out of the right hand of Price, who again was averaging 18.5 points in her first 2 collegiate games off the bench against Bowling Green and Delta State. Could not match the 3 that fell a moment ago for Jordan Lee.
Yeah, and this is just an easy out of bounds play, and nobody finds Lee, who's a terrific 3-point shooter. Here she goes again.
Offensive rebound from Madison Booker. That's her first rebound to go with 4 assists and 9 points. Crump.
That's the difference in this year's Texas team, is they have shooters on the perimeter. We didn't see it much in the first half. Texas was just 0 for 4 from 3 in the first half, but now we're seeing the shooters come out against this zone defense.
With Aaliyah Crump, you have another guard with great size like Madison Booker.
And again, just great spacing if you watch. And Crump, she does a terrific job, just like Jordan Lee, of getting her feet set. She is a pure shooter, an elite shooter.
Probably some popcorn was the casualty there.
I love the fact that Rory Harmon didn't even look over at the bench at Vic Schaefer. She knows that was not the thing to do.
It's a season best performance for Vic Schaefer's sport coat. Don't believe it came off in the opening half. Little crossover, fires up a shot. It's Jasmine Jackson filling the rhythm.
And Coach talks about her being just a tremendous shooter and somebody that really works at her game. In the gym first, out of the gym last.
The Dallas Products, one of the leaders on this team. Meanwhile, Kyla Oldacre all alone. Had her own zip code down there to herself. And you see those numbers for Kyla. Gets the start here in the second half. That ball out of bounds off of 0-0. They see potential in her to be one of the really elite players in the country this year. At the same time, it's nice to not have the burden of needing to be one of the elite players. Looking for another 3 to fall. Instead, an offensive rebound, and Rory Harmon will pick up the whistle.
A little better motion here offensively by Louisiana here in the second half.
Again, Texas with a tough schedule coming up, several top 25 tests that will help get them battle tested for the SEC, which Vic Schaefer sums up as 2 months of pure hell, and he likes it hot.
Well, non-conference isn't heaven here this year, so if you're going to say that, it's a tough non-con schedule for Texas. I think it's their toughest since Vic Schaefer has been the head coach.
1 second to get it off, foul to the left hand. Now fight for the rebound. Booker taps it to herself. A drive into the paint. It'll be a defensive foul drawn by Jordan Lee. And let's see if Lee, who looks like she's experiencing discomfort, able to get back up. Maybe just knocked her knee on the hardwood floor. 3 points on 1 of 3 shooting so far for Lee tonight. All of those shots have been from outside the arc. She'll attempt a couple of free throws here.
One of the great things about Jordan Lee is she's just unselfish. Whether she takes 3 shots or 30 shots in a game, she is completely happy.
First one down. Well, again, here's tomorrow's SEC Network men's basketball doubleheader. 10th ranked Florida hosting Florida State for that in-state rivalry at 7 Eastern at the O'Connell Center. Then Ole Miss hosts Penny Hardaway and the Memphis Tigers at the Pavilion in Oxford. Both games also available, of course, right here on the all-new ESPN app. Another great night for hoops, featuring the depth that is the SEC, both on the men's and the women's side. A little step back and a stroke will fall for Manly.
Yeah, when Texas is able to break that press, they are getting some shots. We see the arsenal a little bit, what you might call offensive skill set of some of these Louisiana players.
Manly and Jackson with 5 points apiece for Louisiana, tied for second highest scores for Louisiana this evening.
Love Artero in there at 5'11", trying to keep Oldacre off the boards. Great box out.
Rooker makes the rebound difficult, but still winds up with the Raging Cajuns. Louisiana has already scored more points here in the third quarter than they did all of the second. 7 points here to start the second half compared to 6 going into halftime. And they're going to keep it here with a foul on Texas.
Really good offense this last couple of times down the floor for the team in black. A little more motion, taking care of the basketball. They were at 22 turnovers at the half, and they are still at 22 turnovers right now. So that is a good sign for the first 4 minutes to go turnover less. Is that a word?
We'll go back and read the closed captions, and I'll give you a verdict. 4 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Barry Broadhead has the ear of Daniel Drake right now. Here's Rory Harmon adding to her highlight reel. The pride of Houston, Texas, out of Cy Creek High School. Boy, I mentioned that knee injury during the holiday season 2 seasons ago. And Harmon with the steal here. And then almost immediately fouled by Jackson.
Yeah, Harmon locked in defensively right now. She is just, you know, when you're in a game against her, you do not want to throw a cross-court pass like this. She gets out in the passing lane so well, finishes really well. That's 3 steals here today. That one was the second, the next one the third. As you mentioned, one of the best, if not the best, two-way players in the game.
Former Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year back in 2023. Crump with some help from Oldacre, able to get to the glass and a chance for a 3-point play. Kyla Oldacre won't get a stat for that, but that is certainly a way to add offensively.
Well, this is called occupying the defense. So when you post up strong here, it's a screen and a clear out for this drive to the lane. And Aaliyah Crump, hey, I like her as a shooter, and when she has the shot and she's hitting, it's fabulous. I think she's so dangerous off the bounce.
In Texas tonight, 15 of 23, 65% from the free throw line. That'll tick up slightly to make from Crump a 3-point play. 42-point lead for the 4th-ranked Longhorns. Nice feed down low, and Oldacre thought she got there in time, and let's see if she's able to shoot the free throws. Talking about Ariana Patterson. She had a head injury that kept her out of some practices earlier this year, just getting back to full speed, the freshman out of Baton Rouge. It appears as though she will be good to go from the charity stripe.
It's so different for a freshman to miss time at this time of year. I mean, out with concussion protocol, you're missing practice. In high school, you can do that. You can just get right back in and dominate in a game, but there's such a high learning curve at the Division I college level.
Every free throw she makes tonight will set a new season and career high for the freshman. She's 3 for 3 this evening. Her first 3 free throws of the year. 4 for 4. At this rate, she will never miss over the next 4 years. Stephanie Mosley back on, again mentioned from the Dallas area from Mansfield, by way of a few collegiate stops, including UT Arlington and Norfolk State. Last year was a part of an undefeated MEAC run for Norfolk State in conference, and went on to win the conference tournament as well. Booker bailed out by Harmon.
Yeah, almost a travel there by Booker.
Shot clock halfway down. Oldacre, 17 points off the bench tonight. Out of left hand, she'll go to the line where she's 5 of 10 tonight. Those free throws will have to wait, but it is Texas outscoring Louisiana here in the
numbers up.
Kyla Oldacre, when we last left off, was fouled. She'll be at the line to shoot a pair.
Well, I will say Madison Booker has 6 steals again in today's game. I don't think she had 6 steals in 3 games last year at any one point.
Booker. Midway through this third quarter. And Madison Booker will add to the stats with another rebound. Second chance points, that one won't go. How about a third time? This time it's Crump coming up with the basketball. In for a closer look, down to Kyla. If you want to pad your assist stats, look for 00.
And Crump just so long at 6'1", keeps her head up, makes the right decision.
In points in the paint, Texas has the narrow edge of 36-4.
We thought that it would be that way today. We imagined that Vic Schaefer would be pounding the ball into the paint, and Texas certainly has found ways to score at the rim.
There's only so much scheming you can do for the size boasted by Texas. They will go in for a look in close proximity, come up with the offensive rebound. And Louisiana coming off back-to-back losses against Bowling Green and Delta State. They did bring in a lot of talent this year. Obviously, chemistry takes time for this new-look squad. And just a nice feed in the paint, but a basket that they hope will fall sooner rather than later does not go down there.
It's so hard with Oldacre around the rim at 6'6". You get that chance at a look at the basket that close. It's not easy to put in.
Fight for the rebound. Comes up with the Raging Cajuns. Specifically Silva.
Yeah, Bianca Silva's been all over the place. Again, a bump defensively by Harmon. I mean, she's just a master at creating contact, I think. Giving a little bit of bump off the line.
Can they keep this tempo going? Rory Harmon's got a dozen to go with 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a balanced effort.
You know, I played on teams that had this kind of tempo, and it was fun to play with this kind of tempo. So can they keep it going? Absolutely. And they have the depth and the talent to keep it going as well.
All to help keep the tempo going, you bring in 3 fresh players for Texas. That is depth that Louisiana does not have available. They'll make 1 sub. Oldacre will come off, again with the game-high 19 points. Gary Broadhead will be able to put this game in perspective as they'll turn the page and they'll take on Southland Conference's Nichols in Thibodaux, Louisiana.
Yeah, they have a tough road ahead of them. They're away from home for a month, which isn't uncommon for Louisiana teams. They often have to schedule away.
They're not home until December 2nd against East Texas A&M, the former Texas A&M Commerce. And they will begin conference play down in San Marcos December 17th. Sun Belt play will be here in a hurry for this new-look squad for Louisiana. Preston unable to get the defender Jones to leave her feet. On the baseline. Looked like a good adjustment, just wouldn't go for Carlton.
Well, Justice Carlton is just so good at bullying her away around the rim when she gets that low, which always makes me giggle.
You're a little biased when it comes to play in the post.
Oh, I'm a little biased when it comes to physical contact and physical play.
Booker helps create a turnover, and Louisiana gets it right back. They've got the numbers edge. Cunningham on an island. Preston saves it, and the cheerleader saves her. A little bit of chaos inside the final 2 minutes of the third quarter.
But great hustle by both teams.
Have to like the effort for Louisiana. Down by 44. Got Carlton off her feet. Booker breaks it up. And the tie-up's going to keep it on this end of the floor for Louisiana. Fantastic year coming off their Final Four last year.
Just to recap, 2.5 seconds on the shot clock right here for Louisiana.
They've been good on limiting their turnovers this quarter. 2.5 on the shot clock. They're aware of it, and it's rebounded before the turnover. Booker down low to Carlton with some traffic. Still room for improvement when it comes to finishing underneath the basket.
Booker almost wanted that pass back. She saw the defense hanging out behind Carlton. Got a little lucky there.
Louisiana has limited Texas on fast break points to 12 for the game. Everybody reaching in, trying to get that ball, and in the end, the rejection off the right hand of Carlton. Stay with Louisiana. Raging Cajuns have made just one of their last 10 shots from the floor.
And again, 7 on the shot clock. Let's see if they have clock awareness here.
Mosley fires one up. Rebound to Cunningham. Final 30 seconds of the third quarter here in Austin between Texas and Louisiana. First 2 points of the night for Justice Carlton. One of 9 Longhorns to score this evening. And they have a chance. I don't think they were planning on a 2-for-1. Shot clock off, 6 seconds still to go. Booker with the play call and the composure.
Yeah, high screens for Booker, who gets a shot.
70-24. Tech a few spots ahead of Rory Harmon.
They are some incredible playmakers on that list, and to be number 10, Tamika Johnson had 945 assists, as we see just
the long arm of the law.
Yeah.
Justice being handed out arbitrarily by Carlton.
Yeah, you know, Carlton continues to improve her defense. We've seen a couple of plays with her, but she's got some terrific size out there. And again, very physical Texas is, bumping people off the line.
Sidbury as Carlton and Preston running with her. And an offensive foul on the bump, pardon me, a defensive foul with the bump in traffic. Again, Sidbury sitting on 999 career points. Obviously a field goal would put her over the threshold for 1K. Sidbury. Cunningham with the rebound will keep it alive. And a sweet stroke from Jordan Lee.
Yeah. Isn't that a pretty shot? She just does a great job of keeping her feet set. She doesn't have a lot of motion in her shot. Automatic.
Last year was all-freshman team in the SEC after being a McDonald's High School All-American. Former state track standout out of the Golden State. And with a hand in the face, the three-pointer goes down for Jasmine Jackson, who knocked down just 3 of those coming into tonight.
Does a nice job of just reading the screen right there. The defense goes behind, gives her a little bit of room, and she's a terrific shooter.
She's 2 for 3 this evening against Texas. Open look from the corner in front of her teammates on the bench. Carlton drills the 3.
It's incredible, the players that Vic Schaefer has on his team as far as the confidence they have offensively. You can just list them off, you know, with Crump and Lee and Carlton. Young players that just bring a different aspect to the Texas offense. 3-point shooting, a weakness for Texas the last few years. Maybe had 1 or 2 people that could knock it down. This year, that's a different story.
All right, first time tonight for Texas, we're seeing the freshman Grace Prenter out of Dublin, Ireland. Member of the Irish national team, a late addition to this roster for Texas. Saw her in the season opener, knock down a 3-pointer for her first collegiate points. Texas today, 4 of 14 from beyond the arc. This time from close proximity. 2 more for Carleton. Prenter comes out to defend Jackson. .51 lead for 4th-ranked Texas. They'll get the ball back here.
Yeah, Texas has done a nice job pushing the ball, and no one likes to push it any more than Bree Preston, who gets the ball down the floor, has that little no-look pass that we saw live.
Yeah, it was a no-look replay.
It was so fast, you missed it.
We promised it happened.
Well, Bree Preston at the point guard, you know, played limited minutes in the backup position for Rory Harmon last year. A couple times played at the same time on the floor with Harmon. Really come on this year. Her poise, her maturity.
Prenter, long 2 off the mark.
That's a good shot for Prenter. She just needs to settle down. She's very, very nervous still in the games. She has a terrific shot.
And on the other end, in transition, Kaylin Norris out of the Colony, Texas, fresh off a national championship in the junior college ranks a couple years ago at Hutchinson Community College. A scary moment, getting the defender off her feet, but Sidbury able to get back up. Texas tonight from the free throw line, 16 of 26. Overall shooting 53% from the floor. So again, we remind you that Sidbury, whose career this year brings her to Texas after 2 years at Boston College and before that in her home state at Utah, sits on 999 career points. Make it 1,000. Good measure, looking for one to grow on here.
And congratulations to Sidbury. That is a tough thing to do in college basketball. I think she's going to score a lot of points for Texas this season too. Still getting used to the offense, still trying to figure things out.
Just a brief window there. Jackson unable to exploit it with a 3-point shot. Breakaway chance for Texas. Louisiana now in transition. Perhaps some tired legs factoring in. This ball will stay in the front court with Artero.
Well, a lot of time left in this game, so 6:45 right now. If there's one thing I do know about Vic Schaefer, is he doesn't like to watch sloppy play for extended periods of time, and it's a little sloppy out there right now.
And just a fadeaway that winds up being another rebound tonight for Brea Cunningham. She's got 11 rebounds to go with her 5 points.
Foul on Price right there, just going for the steal.
That's her 4th. 3 Raging Cajuns with 4 fouls.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Daniel back in the game since she went out with that 4th foul. And
number 3 meet number 33. Again, Prenter, the freshman, makes her way in. Weak side, Cunningham with the offensive rebound and put back.
I just call that a pass.
You're going to give Prenter the assist.
Yep, I am. A really good job by Prenter of getting to the basket. Just wasn't able to finish.
Texas's defense has held Louisiana to single-digit scoring each period so far.
But just 4 turnovers here in the second half after 22 in the first half for the Raging Cajuns. Taking care of the ball a lot better here in the second part of the game.
Hand in the face, ultimately able to get that one to go down, as we officially have a rare Amani Daniels sighting. Unfortunately limited tonight by fouls. She had the first 6 points of the night for Louisiana. Now has 12 points still in fewer than 10 minutes.
Well, that's what Coach Broadhead has talked about, is they need to get better. As we see Sidbury knock down another tough 2. They need to get better defensively, Louisiana does. He talked about how we need to go back to fundamentals. We haven't had enough time together. I'm a defensive coach. We need to get stops. And when you see these turnovers, you see them not giving up a lot of points here today. These are some areas. Fouls, foul trouble is a big problem right now. That's defense.
Sidbury with those 2 points a moment ago, up to 6 for the night. It's Cunningham will add a couple more again, the former Arizona Wildcat. A little baseline bank shot and a timeout from her head coach.
Set play right there. Terrific job for Sid Berry to be able to go off the bounce to the rim.
The journey to 2,000 points is now well underway as she sits on 1,004.
I love how Vic Schaefer moves his pieces around when he sees an advantage, gives his players a chance to do something that they don't normally do out on the floor. Sid Berry can post up. She can hit the offensive board. She can knock down the three. And there, that last time down, you were able to see her with the ball in her hands getting to the rim.
Or Louisiana just trying to close this one out with some momentum. Give the coaching staff some good things to look at down the stretch before you gear up for your next contest at Nichols. This won't help. Preston, a blur, speeding for the bucket the other way. 7 points for Bree Preston tonight. Daniel. And second chance points as Price chimes in.
Those are Price's first 2 points of the game, are they not? We featured her in the open. I mean, this is a tough game for a freshman to come in and continue the tear that she had been on offensively.
Yeah, she was 0 for her first 9 from the floor. Again, this is after she was averaging 18.5 points through her first 2 games this year, all of which coming off the bench in her first 3 games of the season now. Carlton with 9 points after that last bucket on the other end. Sid Berry holds her ground.
Really impressive when you start looking at the stats. 2 things really stand out right now. The balance scoring, we've talked about Oldacre all day. She's got 19, but the balance scoring for Texas has been impressive. And then you look at Cunningham quietly out there, 18 minutes. She's got 9 points and 14 rebounds. You know, you think Oldacre is the only one doing damage on the interior, but it is not.
9 of the 10 Longhorns we've seen tonight have 7 points or more. The exception is Prenter, who's had limited minutes, having yet to see her first points of the night. 3 Longhorns in double figures. And Cunningham, 9 points, 14 rebounds, on the verge of a double-double this evening. Final 3 minutes on a Monday night. And we'll explain the the elevated cheers you hear in a moment with the fan favorite getting ready to come off the bench. There are probably about as many custom signs each night here for Sarah Graves as any of the All-Americans.
You see another great basket by Daniel right there as we listen to the crowd.
Preston. I think Texas fans wouldn't be too bothered if Texas coughed one up out of bounds to stop the clock to allow for the sub, but now Sarah Graves will come on.
Yeah, substitution timeout, so Sarah Graves comes in, the game will start.
If they made a Disney movie about a Texas player and the journey that she's had, Sarah Graves did not begin competitive basketball until her high school track coach suggested it. She admits it took a while to get adjusted to some of the nuances like, hey, you can't just walk with the basketball in your hands.
Well, her sister also plays. She is at Louisville on the roster there, so she was able to have shooting practice with her sister in high school and get some pointers.
Former walk-on here at Texas, promptly earned a scholarship. She was a big part of Rory Harmon's comeback in 2024. Early mornings in the gym. Wouldn't be surprised if she has the keys to the Moody Center. At the line again, Imani Daniel. 16 points tonight, 7 of 10 from the floor, has made both of her free throws. Just been plagued by fouls.
Italy.
Some blood here on the knee, perhaps.
A lot to look at, a lot of good things you can point out to your team and give them some confidence, and a lot of mistakes made. Places, areas to grow. Looks like the officials are giving her an extra couple of seconds to get that.
Sarah Graves may have gotten some of it on her leg. So she too is getting treated by the pit crew for Texas. She doesn't walk anywhere.
She does not. Watching her in practice, she leads by example.
Second free throw here for Daniel after missing the first. Louisiana 10 of 14 from the line tonight. Final 2 minutes here in Austin. And Longhorns picked to be among the top 2 in the SEC this year. Graves with her first touch. Whipped in, threading the needle. Carlton with the finish.
Really, really good around the rim. I think that's where she's at her best, is around the rim. Played a lot around the rim when she was in high school, really comfortable there. So sneaky.
Sidbury, full steam ahead.
I don't think she walks anywhere either. Got down the floor pretty dang fast.
Once she broke 1,000, all of a sudden it was an offensive renaissance for Taya.
Really, really good defense, on the ball defense by Texas guards out here.
Prenter able to break it up again. Both teams just wanting to close this one out on a high note. This has been the best quarter so far for Louisiana with 14 points. Some of the headliners for the Longhorns, spectators for the rest of this evening, presumably.
Well, it won't be in the stat sheet, but Vic Schaefer with his coat on still in the game.
It'll be a shot clock violation. And Jeremy Rosenthal is going to have to update the notes. I think this is a career night for Vic Schaefer's suit jacket. Able to go the distance. Prenter into the paint.
Really great read by Prenter, again from Ireland. Came in late, still learning the system. One of 18 players playing Division I basketball from Ireland this year.
Comes up with the turnover. A couple seconds separating the two clocks. Texas has reached triple digits. They've made their last 10 shots. On a night where Kyla Oldacre led them with 19 points, 7 rebounds coming off the bench tonight. 12 points for Harmon, 11 for Crump, 13 for Carlton, and 10 from Sidbury on an evening where she eclipsed 1,000 in her career. The Texas Longhorns will have a second left before they improve to 3-0 to begin the new season.
And the first and ever and only turnover Vic Schaefer will ever be happy about. The one that he told great Preston to take right there by letting the shot clock run out.
A second away from tying the active longest winning streak in Division I at home here at the Moody Center.